The information in this video is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Morale Monologue. I'm Michael Morale. In today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about purchasing a new wheelchair. You know, the majority of us that have SMA sit in wheelchairs all day long. And purchasing a new chair now is a lot different than it was purchasing a wheelchair whenever I was younger. You know, wheelchairs all had sling seats and sling backs, and I've been sitting in a wheelchair that has a sling seat and a sling back for the last 54 years. And now the newer chairs don't have the sling seats and backs anymore. They've got the hard pan seats. Well, the problem for me is that sitting in a sling seat over all of these years has caused a lot of damage to my hips. So going to a wheelchair that's got a hard pan seat is going to be extremely difficult for me. So I'm just going to give you a couple of tips and tricks and show you a couple of the chairs that I'm looking at purchasing and what I'm doing to make sure that this chair is going to fit me and that I'm going to fit the wheelchair. Now, before I begin and show you the chairs that I'm looking at purchasing, I'm in no way endorsing any of these chairs because I don't own them. I'm just going by word of mouth from my friends, but neither does BioNews Services or SMA News Today. These are just the chairs that I'm thinking about purchasing. So please look into, if you are thinking about purchasing a new chair, try to do a lot of research on the internet and find the chair that's best for you. Okay, so the first chair that I'm showing you is the Permobil. And this Permobil wheelchair isn't necessarily the exact one or the exact model that I'm getting. But Permobil does make a great chair. A few of my friends that work for SMA News Today have these chairs. They like them. Now, the only problem with me is that whenever I was growing up, all of the wheelchairs that were manufactured had sling seats and sling backs. So I've been sitting in a sling seat for over 54 years. I'll be 55 in August. And in that time, sitting in a sling seat has done a lot of damage to my hips. You know, they didn't have the hard pan seats that these wheelchairs have today. Well, the problem is for me to go from a sling seat to a hard pan seat, it's very difficult because my hips are not used to that. So we're going to have to be very careful about the kind of cushion that I sit in. Right now, I'm just sitting on a memory foam cushion. But when I go to this newer chair that's got a hard pan seat, my doctor wants me to get a really good cushion with either gel foam or some other type of liquid material that will disperse the weight because I've got a lot of damage in my right hip and leg. And again, that's caused by not only sitting in a sling seat, but just sitting in a wheelchair for as many years as I've sat in one. So again, over time, your body changes, and getting into a newer wheelchair now is going to be very difficult for me. But my physical therapists, Emily and Laura, have told me that they'll do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm stretched out each week, to make sure that I'm comfortable. And doing the physical therapy that I've done has definitely helped my right hip and leg. So again, it's something that I'm just going to have to force myself to do because the newer chairs all have hard pan seats and there's nothing that I can do about it. Now, one recommendation that I would have is that if you're looking at purchasing a new chair, go with a reputable manufacturer and go with a reputable firm that will do and take the time necessary to measure you as far as seating and positioning. Okay, don't just go out and buy a wheelchair because you will be disappointed. Let's just say that, okay? I did that one time and it cost me a lot of money. So now I'm taking my time and making sure that the wheelchair is going to fit me and to make sure that I'm going to fit the wheelchair. So again, the Permobil is a great chair. It's got all the new features. I can connect to the internet. I'll have a USB connection. It's all Bluetooth. I mean, it's technology that chairs, say, 20 years ago never had. So I'm going to be getting a chair that's really up to date, which is nice. They are expensive, but let's face it, most of our insurance companies cover the cost of these new chairs. So the second chair that I'm looking at is the Quickie. And I'm sitting in a Quickie chair now, and I've loved these chairs. It's been a real workhorse for me. God knows how many miles I've traveled in this wheelchair, probably thousands of miles. And it really has worked well, and it hasn't broken down very often. So, Quickie does make a good chair, and you're seeing a picture of the one that I'm thinking about purchasing. Again, It's got all the newer technology, Bluetooth, it can connect to the internet. You can run your chair through your phone. The controllers are really, really nice. They're easy to use. You know, it's got swing away controllers. The feet rest are adjustable. You can tilt and recline. And you can do all of that in either one of these chairs that I've shown you today. But when you go to the doctor and you tell them that you need another wheelchair, to file through your insurance, they're going to require that you have a face-to-face meeting with your doctor, that you go to a physical therapist and get properly measured, because they measure from your hips to your knees, how tall you are, how much you weigh. All of this will factor into purchasing a new wheelchair. And all of these measurements have to be precise, because if they're off by just an inch or two, it can really throw your body into a turmoil. You know, I purchased a chair that they didn't measure me properly. The chair was actually a little bit too small for me. And for me to sit in it, it was very uncomfortable. So you don't want to do that. So take the time out of your day to find a reputable manufacturer and a reputable dealer that will take the time to measure you properly. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Morale Monologue. If you did, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to the SMA News Today YouTube channel. We would greatly appreciate it. Remember, when you do subscribe, make sure you click on the icon that has the bell on it, and that way you'll be notified of any new videos that we produce. We at SMA News Today hope all of you have had a fantastic day. Do me a favor, do something for yourself this upcoming week that's going to make you a better person. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.